Hi, click like, click share. Sorry, I'm so emotional right now because I'm getting ready to discuss a real hard topic. Now, before I discuss the topic, I just need you to think before you say prejudice, racist, or whatever. Think, okay? If you're West Indian, you hang out with a lot of West Indians. If you're black, you hang out with a lot of blacks. If you're Spanish, you hang around with a lot of Spanish. If you're Italian, you hang around, and so on and so forth. Um, if you take a sociology class in college, you'll see that usually groups stick together. So the reason why I say this disclaimer is because I have a stalker, and he wants to, and I have many stalkers on this block, but they want to claim prejudice every time I bring it up because I bring up groups. Because when you're having a problem with somebody, you call your family. Your family is usually whatever race or creed or whatever that you are. Then you may call your friend. It's not a lot of people who's in an area where there's a mix of different nationalities. So most of the time, the person that you're going to call to help you out is part of your race or part of your gender. Okay? So that's why I'm saying don't judge and say, oh, she's prejudiced or whatever the case may be. Because it's going to sound prejudiced, but it's not. Because I'm trying to explain to you, please think logically. Please think on a higher grade level. Please think, okay? All these things are true. We hang out with the same type people in our area. If we're not in a mixed area, we usually socialize with the same group as we are, and so on and so forth. My first group, my first person, his name is Joseph Reyes. He's Spanish. His mom is Spanish and Italian, or just Spanish. His sister is half Spanish, half Italian, because I heard her father is Italian. Now, they live on the block from me. When I moved on the block, him and his wife lived together with their children, with the mom, the sister, and the brother-in-law. The brother-in-law, his sister's husband, is Indian, okay? So just go with me, like, right now, okay? So please do not claim prejudice. I'm just telling a story. But the story I'm about to tell, it relates to everyone around here who is coming at me, okay? And coming at you, and coming at some of the YouTubers, and that's why I'm doing this video, because he's going after YouTubers who has something that they want, usually nice clothes, nice cars, whatever. They went after Theresa Roemer. They're going after Peyton Marie Charles. They're going after the Chic Maven because she has all these bags and she shops in all these stores. So his group is going after people like that. Okay? Bear with me. Now, I moved on the block. 1 hour after I moved on the block, there was a knock on my door. Who was it? His baby mother, welcoming me to the block. I said, oh, thank you. I said, oh, this is a nice neighborhood, you know. Boom. She said that her baby father was somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Can she use my phone? I said, oh, okay. So I handed her my cell phone. Never do that. Never hand your phone over to anybody. Never leave your phone anywhere. And if you do, please, they already probably downloaded something on it to track you. And I saw one time Peyton left her phones in I think a restaurant or something, and the guy ran out and gave it to her. A Spanish guy ran out and gave it to her. Boom. Now, like I said, please do not call prejudice. I'm just telling a story. And please be educated and act educated and not think everything is racist. Just remember those clues that I told you in the beginning about us hanging out with the same people of our same race, same gender, and same creed. Okay? Now, Like I said, his wife knocked on the door 1 hour after I came in. She said something about she couldn't find him, blah, blah, blah. She needed the phone. I handed her my phone. I wasn't thinking that this woman was going to download something on my phone. Boom. She downloaded something on my phone. So then she called him, and that's how I happened to get his number, because she called him from my number. Fine. I left. I found, I'm moving in, blah, blah, blah. I moved in on the block 2 years later. I'm finding things happening because, sometimes when people know something that you didn't tell them and you wonder why, how they know. Okay. Like I said, my suspicion was she downloaded a track on my phone. I don't know this woman from anywhere. I never saw her in my life or anything except that very day I moved in. Okay. 2 years later, my phone was acting up too much. So I bought a new phone. Boom. A couple of days later, she knocks on my door again. Remind you, I just said I switched my phones. So she comes again. Oh, this time they were separated. So she comes. Oh, he's supposed to come get the kids and she ain't get it. I think maybe he's in the house. He's sleeping. Da, da, da. Can I use your phone? Again, I handed her my phone. I wasn't thinking this woman was downloading stuff on my phone. Later on, I found out she's a computer tech. Boom. All right. Then I realized, months later, I realized something is really wrong. So I'm saying, why is my phone keep acting up like that? Then money start acting funny, whatever. Now, I'm going to cut that story off 1 second and I'm going to go back to it. Now, I shop at BJ's. I have a BJ's card, of course, right? I do a lot of shopping. Every day they would, because I'm decorating my house. Okay, so I started redecorating my house. I'm buying new stuff. So every day there's a package at my door. They noticed that. Okay, he's a scammer. I didn't know that. I thought he was a nice guy. I'm always seeing selling cars, blah 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 blah. Me and him talking, we laughing. Yeah, we was getting along fine. Anyway, I was buying a lot of stuff. So I was having problems with the parking. So I asked some of my neighbors, not really me, but some people who were staying here, my family was staying here, and they was complaining about the neighbors not leaving them space for parking. Everybody on this block have a place to park. Everybody, except me. I have to park around my house. That's my parking spot, okay? So, or in my backyard, right? So it's more convenient for me to park around the thing. It didn't have a no park. You could have parked anywhere on this block. Fine. So I parked all my cars around my house and have my visitors around my house. So we was talking to the neighbors. Da, 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 da. Now the neighbors used to just leave their car for weeks, for days, and don't move their car from my parking spot. Now you have a parking spot, or you have a landlord who has parking spot, but they didn't want to pay for parking spot because maybe the landlord was charging them for parking, but they want to come and park in my spot. I didn't mind as long as you move your car. But some of them left their car for days. He left his car for months, 8 months. I sat there and I counted it. Then finally I asked some of the neighbors, even the one that I'm not getting along with. At that time we was all getting along. I asked him. I said, "Whose Jeep is that?" Because he fixes cars, and so I thought it was one of his people. He said, "No, that's Rhea's car." I asked another neighbor, then another neighbor. They said, "No, that's not my car. That's Rhea's car." I was like, "Okay, fine." I went to him. I said, "Reyes, is this your Jeep?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay." I called a tow truck, had it moved. A couple of days later, he comes to me. "Oh, I didn't want to tell you it was mine. I was having some problems with the person that I sold it to, so I had to what he said it? I had to repossess it, blah, 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 blah." That was a lie. Later on, I found out that was a lie. He stole the man's car from in front of the man's thing, and he was hiding the car. He was hiding the Jeep. It was a Jeep. He was hiding it, okay, in plain sight, but by my house, by my gate. So he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you." I said, "Fine." So I'm getting it from him. I'm getting it from them. He's a mechanic. He's always having his people park by my house. He sells cars. He's always having people. Now, sometimes, because I had a camera in my room, so sometimes I'm sitting in my room, and his lot is bare. Maybe one car, which is his, because his mom would go out to work, sister would go out, everybody would go out. Sometimes he'd be the only one parked up, or anybody, whoever's there. If his mom is there, sometimes her Jeep is the only one that's parked up. Every time they have a guest, they park in my house. One time, one of their guests parked in at their house. When the guy went in, he came right back out and parked, moved the car and parked by my house. Now you have guests, and you keep telling your guests to park in my spot. But your thing, I can understand if everybody was home and there's no room. I don't mind that you park and leave. But the guy came to see you. He parked in your lot, and you tell him to move. But that's your friend. That's your guest. Suppose I'm supposed to get a guest. So anyway, so I'm getting it left and right. My family was telling me, please, talk to the neighbors about the parking, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. So I tried to talk to them. They was very irate. Oh, I've been parking here for 15 years, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I can understand, but I don't mind you parking, but can you move your car? Sometimes you leave it there for weeks and you don't move your car. I'm like, I do live here now. I bought the house or whatever. One neighbor told me, oh, you got to show me the deed. You got to show me the deed that you own the house. But I didn't think about that. But I'll tell you a story on that later about the deed thing. So anyway, so now things was just happening. So I go to BJ's. Fast forward now, because we stopped getting along. I go to BJ's. The manager's always raising the prices. Then later on, they put in the discount. What I found out that Mr. Reyes is calling his friends in BJ's or make friends in BJ's, because like I said, I don't know if they're all his friends, or I don't know if he knows somebody who knows somebody that works in BJ's, or I don't know if he just called them in just because they're Spanish. Because most of the people that's attacking me on his end, because there's other people, but I'm talking about his crew. On his crew is Spanish. The garbage man, the BJ's people, Spanish, okay? That's why I said, please do not call racial. I'm telling you a story, okay? So now, just last week, and I got to make a phone call to BJ's. Just last week, because, they was blaming everything on COVID. But BJ's has lowered their prices again, because now everything is back to normal. I know, because I shopped there every week when I was good. Now my son has to shop for me. So my son don't look at prices. He just picks stuff up. But I know the prices of certain things. You understand? So it happened one too many times. So I called BJ's corporate. I said, how much is the carrot juice? How much is the milk? Blah, 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 blah. They said, well, the carrot juice is $5.99. I said, well, they charged me $7.79. Because it kept going on and on and on and on. I just asked him. I didn't give him a price. I asked him what the price was. Because every time I spoke to the manager, I spoke to the managers twice. And they say, ma'am, that's what corporate is telling us. Blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay, I'm calling corporate. I called corporate twice. And twice they gave me the $5.99 price. Okay? Fine. So I put in a complaint, blah, blah, blah. They said they gave me a discount for they gave me the discount for 8 something. They sent me back an 8 something. Do you know what this bastard did? He had somebody put his account number, not his account, his credit card number, or his PayPal thing, so my credit can go on his card. So that's what he's been doing all this time, because I've been having problems getting my refunds. I've been getting problems getting my packages. People tell me they send me stuff, like some of these vendors, you understand, because I buy a lot of stuff and I was trying to open up my store. Some of these vendors say, oh, I sent you so-and-so, did you get it? And I'm like, no. He's been stealing all my packages. Why? Because one of his crew work at UPS. One of his crew work at USPS. One of his crew works at FedEx. Even up till yesterday, Amazon's supposed to send me a little welcome packet. All of a sudden, it went off. It went off grid. No tracking. So I had to rally up. I called everybody I know. I said, "Get my thing back on." I mean, it's just some paperwork, but still, this is what I had to go through with him for 8 years. 8 years he's been stalking me. Let me tell you what he did to my Benz. Every winter, I have a Mercedes Benz. Every winter, me or my son would come outside, or if we go in our other place, we come outside January or February, the end of January, February, March, sometimes wintertime. We would come out and my car is dented. Somebody hit my car. You know why? Because he's in the used car salesman. He's in the car dealership thing. It's a lot of scams in that one thing. His car being hit. One, he seen a Benz. He put it in place. My son ain't checking, or I wasn't checking. He put it in place and then take it to the shop of their choice. Why? He find out my insurance company. He got to know somebody in the insurance company. I really don't know how they do it, but they always end up Spanish. One was black, but he was belonging to the other crooks thing. Because he told me, he said, "Oh, I know somebody who live on your block." How coincidental. So anyway, they send me to the body shop. Usually I just take it straight to the Benz dealership. But he got to know somebody in the Benz dealership too. So at that time I said, I'm tired of the Benz dealership. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I went to the place that my insurance company suggested. Don't you know my car came out worse than it went in? They fixed the door because the door was thing up. But my roof couldn't close or open. It opened a little bit, and then my son called me. My son left the place 5 minutes, and then he was opening up the roof because he likes opening up the roof. He opened up the roof. He said, "Ma, I just left the body shop, and the roof is not working." I said, "Turn right back around, go to the thing." Of course, he's denying. Da, 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 da. I called the insurance company. I said, "What kind of scam place you sent me?" Because usually some of these body shops who is ambulance chasers, they leave your car anywhere outside. You understand? So I asked them, I'm like, "Where did you leave my car?" I said, "Because my car didn't come out with a messed up roof." You understand? Fine. I'm parking my car. My son took the car. But before that, so 3 years in a row, every winter, I went to the shop. So the scheme is with Mr. Reyes, the shop that I go to, they would get part of the money. Okay? And the guy, I don't know how they synchronize this. And the people who come to look at the car, you may think I'm lying. You may think, "Girl, you crazy." Everybody. Yeah, I had an insurance claim guy came here and he wouldn't give me the claim. One time I had somebody mess up my twice I had somebody mess up my B&B. They didn't give me nothing. They gave me $700. Do you know who got the rest of the money? Mr. Reyes. They denied to pay me for the all the mess and stuff. They gave me $700, and because it's a $5,000 claim, they gave me $700 for one of the claim. The other one they denied it, but he got the money. They split the money. You understand? So it's a gig. So he's following me throughout all my finances, where I'm spending money and where I'm making money. So I'm trying to open up my business. Do you know, somehow they downloaded something on my phone and they would find out what vendor I'm talking to. Then I find out this morning that my iPad has its own number, but it's got something called digits. And digits, you can see all the text and everything. So I called T-Mobile. I'm like, "Listen, somebody is stalking me. They finding out everything." Come to find out that because when I was trying to connect the iPad, One of the reps told me, "Oh, you cannot use the iPad number. That is just to show us that you have an iPad, blah, 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 because blah, blah, blah." It's a lie. They gave access to somebody, Reyes and somebody around here, Miss, this other lady, somebody, access to my iPad because everything I do on my phone goes on my iPad because I synchronize it. So they answering me, so I'm sending out texts I'm thinking it's the vendor. They sending me back texts about, oh, we don't have that, and it's $900 for this. I'm not $900. How am I supposed to make money? But it wasn't the vendor. They was getting the message off my iPad. They set up their iPad or phone as with my number now, with my iPad number. So everything I did or do on the iPad, they're getting it. So when they're answering me, it looks legitimate. You thinking, okay, if somebody texts you something, their number's gonna pop up. But they got all these apps and they're into these people around here, especially him, is into apps that can change numbers to make it look like a different number or make it look like your number and change their voice because they got some voice app, change your app, and of course your location can change. So all of them, all of them is doing this to people around here. But especially to me, why? Because I shop all the time. I'm opening up a business. I got a Benz. I'm trying to get another car. I'm trying to get another car. He's trying to make money off of the car that I'm buying. He's calling up these people or doing it on a thing that I think is the people and saying, "Oh, now we're not giving no reduction. The prices, whatever." I remember one car dealer told me it was because I'm trying to get a used one because I don't really like the new cars right now. So I remember one dealer told me one price, and then by the time he got back to me, $2,000 or $3,000 was more on the thing. Oh, that's tax and base and delivery and blah 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 blah. Because it was either him answering the text, one of them answering the text, or he called the dealer. I'm like, girl, he can't call everybody that you deal with. Everybody. I was trying to give the hookup to some of the stuff that I was buying to somebody. All of a sudden the price doubled. She got cocky on the phone. Oh, well, I'm not changing my price. I'm like, well, you're not going to get my business. Because the price that you give me, I was going to just sell it because it's a nice product. But I was going to just give you the clients and just try to get a discount off of the other stuff. But fuck you. I went looking for my own vendor. I was going to give it a business because her stuff was good. You understand? So I said, okay, I can give it a business for that, but I can get a discount on the other items. So she started getting cocky. I'm like, fuck you. I don't need your business. You're not the only person around that sell what you sell. You understand? But I bought her stuff and her stuff was good quality. So I check out the stuff before I put it on my website. So her stuff was good quality. So I said, okay, I'll stick with this, but let me look for other people. So, but when she got cocky and she saw that I was putting up most of her items, she got cocky. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You understand? Why? Because either he was answering or he got to her. Because now I can't even find her. So I'm saying maybe I was arguing with him all the time and it wasn't her. Because now he took over her website. That's what he does. He takes over people's websites and pages from Facebook, from Instagram. And you thinking you talking to that person. And he took over my cousins in them website. So I had to call my cousin. I'm like, yo, cuz, is that you I was talking to? Because now he's stalking you and he's going through your Rolodex. And he's watching all their website. He's watching all their pages to see what's going on. And he's watching you. And then he's knowing if you're caught. So he's fucking with you. And if one of your cousins dare come and try to protect you or defend you, he sends his crooked ass cop friends after you. Because his brother-in-law knows a cop. And his ex-wife brother is a cop. So he sends them after you. So they coming after you for whatever he told them that you're coming after. One time he told them, "Oh, she threatening my children," and his children is young, like 12 or whatever the case may be. Not 12, younger than 12. So his kids are young because he's using that to make them help him. He's not telling them the real story that he's stalking me and he's going through my finances and he's taking my mail, getting my credit card, my son has not received 2 of his stimulus checks. Two. Two. The $8 that whatchamacallit sent me, BJ's, I haven't gotten that yet. I haven't got it yet. Um One of the credit people told me that somebody went in a bank and was trying to get my house refinanced. I was in the hospital at that time. In 2020, I was in the hospital. They did it when I was in the hospital because my house was staying. My son be at work, whatever. When he came home from work, he don't know what's happening. He don't know what's happening. Everything looked brand new. The other day I went to the doctor and inside my closet is wet. Just some bags inside my closet. He was rearranging my pipeline because that's what he's doing. Right now he's connected to my cameras. Because he lives across the street. He connected himself to my cameras. Mind you, I have cameras inside my house. I have one in my bedroom, one in my living room, and I have 4 around the perimeter. I had to take them all off. I had to take them off because he's watching me in my house. In my house. I had to take them off. I pulled them out. And I keep calling the cops. And whatever is being told to the rest of the cops, they not helping me because they telling them a lie. They're not telling them the truth. So they think I'm going after cops and I'm going after kids, and he's stalking me. So then I have to call the FBI because not only him stalking me, all his friends and his baby mama stalking me because she's the computer tech. So every time the time I pulled out my thing, my cameras, here she comes rolling up. When I deleted everything off my phone, here she comes rolling up. You understand? So she is one of the most important part of this scheme because she connects him to all the computers and all the cameras and stuff like that. She's not no fucking innocent person. I mean, they split up, but they still got kids together and they still crooks together. So you understand me? Good. So I'm watching, Peyton is one of my favorite person on YouTube. So I watch her a lot because I wish her well. And then I watch Theresa and I watch the Chic Maiden. But I watch other people too. So I'm watching and I notice a whole bunch of things going on. Theresa says she got robbed. Peyton, all of a sudden, her car tire, somebody stole her food right in front of her door. Then her camera was acting up. Her lights was acting up. My heart started beating. I'm like, this man is going through. I'm not trying to scare anybody. So I had to stop watching YouTube because I was scared for these people that I enjoy watching. And I was so depressed because I'm in the house. I can't do nothing. If I watch TV, he knows what I'm watching. So then he's going to look to see, or they going to look to see, why is she watching this person and find out, oh, the Chic Maven got a whole bunch of bags. Oh, Theresa got a whole bunch of everything. And Peyton, she lived by herself. And all of a sudden, if you look in the Chic Maiden, a whole bunch of Spanish girls is in her atmosphere, trying to make friends with her. Those are them. All of a sudden, Peyton go to the gym and I see this half Italian, half Spanish guy always in her visual. Then I noticed his car was in front of her. So he's following her from the front because he already know where she's going because he's hearing it. Maybe he planted something in her car. He's hearing where she's going. So he's in front of her. So how can he be following her if he's in front of her? because he already knows her plans. He's listening to her. He probably watching her. I don't mean to scare her. And part of me felt so guilty. You understand that I enjoy these people, and maybe I'm putting them in harm's way because I'm watching them, and these people, and he sees, and these people sees that they have stuff. So maybe they shout out to people in Texas and in Miami and stuff like that. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how they do it for the most part, because they cannot know all these people. They cannot. It has to be a way that they connect to each other. You understand? That he finds people in these areas. But all these people and all these things is related to Reyes and Hutchinson and the rest of them. But Reyes, he is a con artist. He uses his children as as a thing. He puts them in the front to say, oh, I'm a good you. He's a lousy father. He teaches his kids how to rob houses. I'm telling you, he's a lousy father. So he puts his children in the forefront. So maybe the cops think I was thinking they child. I can understand an innocent child, but those children are involved. Many times they come in my house. One time, one of them hid in my in my dryer. I was in my room and I kept hearing noises. So I'm like, I don't have any mouths or anything. I kept hearing noises. Then the next morning, I seen something that belonged to a kid, and my door was open. I closed my door. I closed my door. But when I went upstairs, I put a bar up against my door. The bar was loose. So somehow that child was in here for hours. Because I went out that day. That child was in here for hours, waiting till I fall asleep. I don't know how they got in. I checked all the windows. But what happened was they cut my window, put it back in, and made it look like it was in. So they got in there, and then I guess I came home and they couldn't get out or whatever. You understand? So I don't know what they're telling the other police officers, but right now I don't even talk to the officers in my precinct. I don't trust none of them because all of them come with a snide remark, and they don't help me at all. They don't. So I don't call them. So I didn't know what to do, and the man is being stalked. I mean, he's stalking me. He changed everything in my on my car. I bought new brakes. Somebody stole my brakes. I bought when I looked in my engine was all rusted. My car seat, all of a sudden there was a rip. The other day my son went to the thing, and he came back, and the floor mat was all torn up. Brand new good floor mat, torn up to shreds. So they took an old one. They really replaced it with something that looked like yours, but it's all tattered up. He did that with one of my He did that with my fridge. He took my fridge, brand new fridge, and bought in a. So my son said the other day, "Ma, that takes a lot of thought. How are they going to get the exact same thing?" One time, one of his friends, who I thought was a gas inspector, a Con Edison person, he came into my house and he said that fridge looked like mine. I didn't know it was one of his friends. On one of my videos, you would see this fat guy that worked for National Grid. That's his friend. He came in to check the gas line to make sure that he hooked him up. He hooked up to my gas line because Con Ed and National Grid cut him off. He wasn't paying none of his bills. Right now, he foreclosed, but he's living there or going into foreclosure or already in foreclosure. He's living there. Then he leaves in the daytime when the city rolls around. You understand? So I'm just saying this to say that you may think people's not watching you, but they are. They don't want you to enjoy your life. They're trying to live your life and spend, and they try to twist it to make it look like it's you. How can everybody not like this girl? Because they all doing some crooked shit. all doing crooked shit. I'm gonna tell you the other story about other people, but today is about Jose Reyes. Okay, my neighbor across the street. All of them are neighbors, but him, because what he's doing to people on YouTube, the FBI need to get involved. Because when I saw Peyton's face the other day on her daily vlog, she looked scared out of her mind. She don't understand why this thing has happened to her. People walking away with her food, her tires thing. Somebody's threatening her. She feel like somebody following her. I know. I can tell the look. And even with Maven, she said, "Oh, I gotta take I gotta take some time off." Why? Because they're going into your house and stealing your shit and replacing it with fakes. That's what they doing. And if they know that you have businesses and they hear you, they trying to do the business instead of you. And they blocking you from doing your business. Or what they doing, they let you set up the business, but they put their financial information somehow into your business. So all the money that you're making is going into their account. And by the time you find out, that's why I do everything through credit card. Everything. The last time I sent somebody $100 to make a website for me, it got lost. No website. One of them. No website. And I gave them $100. I checked it out and everything. I went on the thing and I saw the company name and no website. $100 gone. I mean, they still investigating it, but $100 gone. This is the kind of bullshit I got to deal with Mr. Reyes. And then he want to threaten my son, him and his brother-in-law. I said, you threat, I'm a threat. You threaten me, I'm a threaten you. Ain't no fucking body backing down. Because I had to get gully. Because you're watching my family. So my family, and you got some family members who have records. So they don't want to make a move, They be like, Rhonda, I come help you. But, these cops, because the cops was harassing my family. So my family couldn't step to them. That's what they do. They hold your family back and your friends back. They find out whatever, because they track you down in your phone and they going through your Rolodex. And then they going on your Facebook page, they going on your Instagram page, they going on your Twitter. I don't do Twitter. But they going on all your pages, finding out who's your clique and who's your crew. And they watching them. So my family said, I can't help you. Because that's what they want. They want you all alone to fuck with you. Then they're going to say, oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's prejudiced. She don't like Puerto Ricans. She don't like this. She don't like that. Meanwhile, every fucking time I'm having problems is from your crew is some Spanish bitch. I got a lot of Spanish friends. So excuse me. They know. I already told them. They said, no, we know. At first, they got mad at me. Rhonda, how can you say, oh, Puerto Rican? So I had to explain to them. I'm like, listen. The motherfucker is Spanish, so all his family and all his family's friends and all his family's family is coming after me because they all fucking crooks. His mother used to work for the city and used to rob her co-workers from the locker room, take all their money out their purse. It was his mom, so he learned it from his fucking mom. The house that they live in, they stole the deed. They stole the deed. The owner left, had a building manager, a house manager. They just moved in. 15 years later, they went down and put the deed in. When the guy found out that he don't no longer own the house, he was shocked. He offered the money to leave or whatever. No, it's my house. I grew up in it. Blah, blah, blah. He said, that was 2 years ago. Now he said, fuck you. I'm getting my house back. Because now what he's doing, because the whole area belongs to this one guy. So now every time somebody move out, guess what? Jose and his crooked cop friends moving somebody in. Like they own the shit. Like they own the fucking shit. Yes, and they so happen to be Spanish. Because that's his clique. Then you on the phone thinking you talking to somebody and they set up, it got so technical that they had some kind of technical stuff only investigators would know about and the cops would know about. They set up this network that I'm thinking I'm on the T-Mobile network. I'm on their network locked in. So they see everything I'm doing. The other day I was trying to, even if I go on the FBI website, they would lock it down. Oh, cannot send. Because I was filling out the application. Yup, about them. But I did it a couple of years ago. But this year I wanted to do it again to find out what the hell's going on. But with the FBI, what happened? They called the local precinct. Remember, I told you me and the local precinct don't get along because his family or his friends of the family works in the local precinct that precinct my area. So they called them and they said, "Oh, she's crazy." So nothing was done. So I had to keep calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. I'm like, listen, I need help. I need help. This man and his family is stalking me and stalking me financially. And then they threatening my family. They keep breaking in my house. Everything in my house is changed. I said, I need help. They tried to turn it around. The same crooked cops came, put me in the hospital, locked me up, blah, 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 blah. And I still rise. Because they would do that. I still rose. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks because of them. Why? Because I came outside. Because, like I said, somebody was hooked up to my neighbor. All of them. They put it with all of them. So I knocked on his door to ask him, please stop. I don't know why I did that. I shouldn't have did that because I've been asking them for stop for years and they wasn't stopping. So what day, would make me feel that they would finally have a heart? I shouldn't have did that. It was my fault. But nothing happened. When the cops came, I wasn't arguing. I wasn't resisting. I wasn't nothing. He threatened me. He came to me with a some kind of weapon in his hand to attack me, to hit me. Yes, he did. I was just on my sidewalk. Because I knocked on the door, then came back on my sidewalk. And they arrested me. For what? I didn't do nothing. Because they wanted me out the way because he had to finish connecting his wires to my house. Because none of them have lights legally. None of them. I'm the only legal one. But for a good thing, all of them losing their house. All of them. All of them is in foreclosure. Okay, you own? So the city started sending out bills. Water bill. They wasn't paying no water bill, no light bill, no gas bill, nothing. So that's what I was dealing with. So I was trying to do the B&B. At first I wasn't getting any customers. Then all of a sudden I got a rush of customers. Because I kept the price high because I'm like, when I kept the price low and I get a serious customer, they know it was my ex-boyfriend sending me money through Airbnb, right? Because he wanted to pay his taxes. So I'm like, okay. So you know what Jose and them used to do? They used to claim that the reservation was canceled and they would keep the money. They would keep the money. I don't know how they do it. So he lost $800. He lost $800, you know? So I just wanted to tell the story because I need people to understand everything is not dealing with prejudice or race. Sometimes in sociology, it just is. And he hangs out with a lot of Spanish people, Spanish Italian people, and that's it. His crew, everybody in that group is not. So I saw, even this morning, I was watching the Maven, and I saw this Spanish girl behind a very pretty, and she was acting like and she was making conversation with the Maven. She already knew because she's tracking the Maven down, the Chic Maven down. because she got some nice pocketbooks and some nice clothes. You understand? They go in your house and steal your shit. They did that to my baby father. They went to his house and changed his belts because he likes designer clothes. When he came here, the man don't even know what was going on. He was just being a customer of mine. And he came here to get his belts, and he came here to think. Yeah, because Jose like designer shit, but he don't like paying for it. He don't like paying for nothing. He steals everything. He don't pay for nothing. Even my barbecue. When they messed up my barbecue, I called because I bought it at BJ's, and it was under warranty, so they can send me a new one. He already got the new one. So they would take your warranty and get the shit that you're supposed to get. Then they would say, "Well, ma'am, the warranty is no longer possible." Blah 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 blah. One time, because I bought this speaker box, and one of my neighbors, I don't want to discuss him now because he's in another topic, Hutchinson, his son. Every time I come here, all my plugs is missing. All my electric plugs, or on my phone plugs, or anything with plugs is missing. My computer plugs is missing. Jose takes all my remote controls because later on he wants to come get my fans and everything, or he don't want me to control the lights because he's trying to get free lights. Hutchinson, his son, takes all my plugs because he's a computer idiot. He goes on and plays games all the time, so he needs plugs for the games. He needs plugs for the phones and stuff like that because he's always playing games. That's how he meet his friends. That's how he makes friends, like in India and stuff like that. Because I'm like, how these people be doing this? They stay on the computer and make friends from whatever company that you deal with. And then they go in, or they tell the people, oh, she hates Indians, or she hates Puerto Ricans, or she hates Italians, or she hates this. None of it is true. Because I have family members in all races, and I have friends in all races. It's just that that's what each of these people, these groups, is associating with. So he is the Spanish clique. Even the garbage man want to get sassy with me one time. Oh, I'm not picking it up. I'm like, why are you not picking up my boxes? I said, everything is ripped. Everything is tied together. He was trying to protest not to pick up my garbage. I said, all right. I call his supervisor. I said, there's a garbage man here that don't want to pick up my garbage. Then they roll around here 2 hours later and picked up my garbage. I'm not playing with you. I'm not showing you I'm scared. I'm not backing down on you because you want to take advantage of a woman, and you want to separate her from all her friends because you want to scare all her friends. Yeah, because they would try to intimidate you, and that's when the cops come in. They would try to come and intimidate you because maybe you don't have a record or whatever the case may be. So they try to intimidate you so you don't come to her defense, like my family. But then I got pissed off in my family. Fuck them cops. So I'm like, listen, that's what I said. Fuck them cops, because they not really cops if they fucking doing shit on off beat. They just using their badge. They fucking crooked cops. Because if you're involved with this motherfucker, you know what he's doing. He's a robber and a stealer. He's a fucking identity thief. He's a credit card frauder. Every crime in the book. He be robbing banks. He out of state. He be robbing check cashing places. He be robbing bodegas. That's his gig. And his brother-in-law into selling heroin. Okay? Yeah, the Indian guy who want to claim that